Hello, everybody. It's Umair here from the support team. I'm going to be going over the organizations page, also referred to as the Hubdoc Partner Portal. This is a page that you're taken to when you first log in. Now, as in QBO and Zero, your administrative account is located on the very top right here. So in this case, that's Zach's bookkeeping. Right below that are the list of client accounts that you have access to. You can use this feature to actually toggle into the respective client accounts, which will take you to the dashboard. But more on that later. Now, the two important functionalities on this page is adding clients and managing users. So we're going to start with adding a client account. So perhaps you've recently onboarded a new client, in which case you would click on the button right here. Now, as you can see, there's some information that you need to fill out: the company name, the first, last name, and an email as well. Now, if your client is going to receive this email, they will need to verify before you can have access to their account. However, if you do not want that client to receive emails, you're welcome to use an email alias. We actually have a great help desk article that you can check out for more information on how to do that. Now, once we've created a client, they will end up right here below the administrative accounts. Now, the second feature is managing users. Here at Hubdoc, we refer to users as members of your staff or partners at your practice. Now, you can see that there are staff members assigned to specific client accounts. That can be helpful in managing workflow and divvying up tasks. So if we wanted to add a user, we would click the Manage Users button. As you can see, under Zach's bookkeeping, we have 3 staff members. They each have access to separate client accounts. Now, for instance, I'm going to click on Paige. We can see that Paige has access to Ruby's Gem Shop, which is a client account. I can add more or grant a Paige more clients by selecting one of the options here. I could revoke her access, or if she had left the company, I can delete that user altogether. The same can be said with the other 2 employees at this firm. Now, going back to the organization page, there's great information, valuable information that will help you manage your clients. So as you can see, there are columns here which I'll go over one by one. The very first one is docs to review. The number here indicates the number of documents that have been extracted and are ready to publish, so they require your immediate attention. The next column is the status column, and there's 2 great indications here that sometimes point to something that requires your attention. You will see 2 symbols here often. The first one is an orange triangle. That refers to the fact that an automated connection requires your attention. That could be the result of a PVQ or a 2FA. The second one is an orange cloud icon, and that refers to the fact that there may be an issue with one of our cloud integrations, like QBO, Zero, or even a cloud storage file. The third column is the staff column, and this is kind of what we looked at before, but I could go to a specific client and look at which one of my staff members has been assigned here. So by going into here, and I can see that Sam Higgins has been granted access. Just like before, I can revoke her access, even give her more access if needed. And that is all for the organizations page. I will be handing it off to my colleague, Charlie, who will take you to the dashboard.
Hi everyone, it's Charlie here. So let's swing into a Hubdoc account. We will click Ruby's Gem Shop. And once we do this, we'll be taken to our Hubdoc dashboard here. So this page will look the same whether you're an accountant or bookkeeper or a client. The main difference being, the top left here under folders, you will have the hamburger stack icon. And here, if you're an accountant or bookkeeper, you can toggle between your different client accounts. So let's get started here by actually uploading documents into Hubdoc. So there are 2 main ways that we can do this. The first is to automatically upload documents, and the second is to manually upload. So to automatically fetch documents, we can click the Add Account button at the top here. And Hubdoc has over 700 live connections that we can automatically fetch documents from. So to search for a vendor, you can either type in the vendor's name in the search bar up here, or you can click from one of our popular connections down here. So I have an American Express account, and I will click on the American Express login. And here I would enter in my login credentials just as if I was logging in to an on the American Express web portal. So I type in my card number and my password and click Add Account. And here you'll see that the documents are automatically fetching into my Hubdoc account, and we can actually exit out of the screen and see the documents. Here, now we can see the documents flowing into my Alt tab. Hubdoc actually automatically fetches more than just bank vendors. We have connections with software companies, telcos, utilities. So here I can also try Comcast, which is a telecommunications company. Type in my login credentials. Oops. Sorry about that. And we can click Comcast, type in my login credentials, just as I would on the Comcast website. Click Add Account, and again, these will start flowing into your Hubdoc account into the Alt tab. We recognize that not all vendors are online, so you can also manually upload a receipt by clicking the Add Receipt button at the top here. And there are 3 ways that we can do this. The first is through our free mobile app. You can snap a photo of a receipt on the go. The second is to submit an email through your unique Hubdoc intake email. Originally, this will be a mix of letters and numbers, but you can customize this to something that's a bit easier to remember, and my colleague will take you through that later in this webinar. And lastly, you can browse for a file on your computer or drag and drop a file from your desktop right here. So now that we know how to upload documents into Hubdoc, let's talk about the process they go through and how to manage them. So we can do that through our document stream in the docs section in the middle of our Hubdoc dashboard here. So the Alt tab, this will house all the documents you've ever uploaded into your Hubdoc account, and they'll be ordered by the date that they were uploaded to the account, with the latest ones being at the top. Next, the tab Processing. Documents in this tab will be paired with a blue clock here, and this will indicate that documents are currently going through our OCR technology where it's extracting key data. This process takes up to 24 hours, but is usually much quicker than that. The next is our Review tab. Documents here will have a yellow triangle with them, and will have already gone through our OCR technology, and the key data will have been extracted. So if we take a look at this Burrito Boys receipt right here, if we go to the Edit Data bar, we can see that the vendor name, the date, and the total amount have all been extracted. Next is our Failed tab. Currently there are no documents in here, but if a document wasn't here, it would be paired with a red circle with a cross through it, and these documents will need our help. The reason a document would end up here is either our OCR technology had trouble reading the receipt, whether it was a crinkled receipt or the ink on the receipt was smudged, or there's an issue publishing one of the documents to one of your downstream integrations. And lastly, we have our Archive tab. Documents in here will be paired with a green check mark, and it will indicate that action on this document has been taken. So the next thing we'll look at is our folder structure and how to organize documents within Hubdoc, and I'll pass that off to my colleague Natalie to explain.
Hi everyone, Natalie here. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the folder structure. So to the left of our Hubdoc dashboard, we see that Hubdoc categorizes each document in terms of either bills and statements or uploads. So in terms of bills and statements, documents that are auto-fetched by Hubdoc will typically get placed into the appropriate folder as they flow into Hubdoc. In your Uploads tab, on the other hand, documents that have been manually uploaded into Hubdoc will generally need to go through our OCR technology, where they'll end up in the Processing tab, and then Hubdoc will be able to extract the vendor name and determine which folder to place the document in. So this folder structure makes sifting through and managing your documents a whole lot easier, and you're also able to drag and drop folders into another, delete a folder, or change the name of a folder if you would prefer, and that you can do so by just clicking the little arrow beside that folder, and as you can see, you have the various options here. I also want to get into two unique features to Hubdoc that kind of make your organizational tasks within the app a little bit easier. So as we can see with our Comcast bill right here, we have the option of putting in a note. You would click note along the top here and you can add in anything, and this is particularly useful if you have multiple staff members looking into one account, and for example, say you want to expend something next month, you can add the note in here, click save, and you would automatically have that note within Hubdoc. I should also note that for these notes, they are only for the organizational purpose of Hubdoc, and they don't get transferred into any of your downstream integrations. It's also worth mentioning that you can add notes to email bodies as well if you're going to be emailing any of your documents into Hubdoc, but there is a particular structure that you do need to code that note into. So you're going to want to do hashtag note, the message, and then hashtag note to close off that note. And then when you upload the document into Hubdoc, if you have this format in the email body, it will save that note into Hubdoc. Another unique feature is the tags feature. This is again particularly useful if you have multiple clients or multiple staff members entering their receipts into one Hubdoc account. So for example, here we have a tag called Ruby. And when you add various tags, you can search that tag. So it's particularly useful if you want to give it for an employee name, or if you want to organize your receipts by year, you can add a tag to them. And that way it's an additional way of organizing each document. And you would go just up to the top here, type in the tag, and it would automatically save. Now I'm going to pass it along to my colleague Paige, who will go more into the integrations and accounts options.
Hi everyone, it's Paige again. So now that we've known how you bring documents into Hubdoc and how you can organize them within Hubdoc, let's look at how you can publish them to some downstream integrations. A good example to show you how to do this is by using a receipt for La Carnita. So this document here was uploaded to this Hubdoc account. You can see it's a photo, so that was either sent in by our mobile app or via email or by dragging and dropping from the computer. So to publish this to a downstream integration, you're going to want to click on this Accounts button. This button here is super helpful. It is your pathway to a lot of other functions within Hubdoc. So here we can click on the Destinations button, and this will take you to your integrations page. So this lets you know right now which integrations you are currently connected with and how you can connect to more. So QBO here, you can see we're connected to because it says disconnect, which I just disconnected by accident, but super easy to reconnect. To do that, you just click on the connect button, and then it will recognize which QuickBooks account you are associated with. If you click authorize here, it will authorize that connection. And back to Hubdoc we go. Awesome. Okay. So you can tell here as well, if you want to publish tax data, let's say we're in Canada, for example, so we do have tax, you want to click on that button, and it will bring in your tax data you currently have set up with QBO. Here you can also connect to some cloud storage options, like Google Drive, Dropbox, for example. This is the page where you're going to want to do that. So jumping out of there and back to our receipt, you click on the document, and then you can go over to the edit data bar, which is right here, and see how we're going to save this document in Hubdoc as well as publish it to QuickBooks, for example, today. So you can see the extractor has extracted the vendor name, the date, and the total amount. Hubdoc also allows you to have the option to calculate multiple line items, which is super helpful if you want to allocate different parts of one receipt to different accounts, or if some items like this, for example, are not taxable, like a tip, this is what function you want to do that. So you can scroll down to your integrations, click on the down arrow, and you can see how it's configured. And you can configure this document however you want it to appear in your QuickBooks. And here, like I was saying below, these are the multiple line items. You can click the edit multiple line items button and configure this however you want it to appear in your QuickBooks. A couple very helpful features within the integration is the save configuration and the auto sync options. So save configuration, if you have that enabled, it's going to allow you to, next time you upload a document from the same vendor, La Carnita, for example, Hubdoc will remember the way you configured it last time, and so it just expedites that process for you. If you enable auto sync, this is going to make Hubdoc automatically push these documents to QuickBooks using the same configuration as you've established here without even asking you whether you want to publish it or not. It'll automatically go there. So you have to make sure that you want to use the same account code and the same payment type, etc. So once we click publish, we can go check out how it appears in QBO. So as you can see here, this publishing that has created a transaction within QBO. There's La Carnita right there. And you can also go to your banking and automatically match the La Carnita transaction by clicking on the match button. And it's all matched and good to go. And that has pushed the source document from your Hubdoc to your QBO, and so you're automatically auto-approved on that platform. So back to Hubdoc, you've seen how we push a document to integration. Let's take a look back at the accounts button, where we have a lot of options for managing your Hubdoc account. This page here, the Manage Accounts tab, is where you're going to manage all of your automated as well as manual connections. So if you scroll down and look at your automated connections, if you click on this down arrow here, you are given a bunch of options for this particular vendor. So the first option here is the location. You can edit that location based on where you want the document to land, which particular folder in your folder structure. You can enable an auto pay feature, and this will, like Natalie mentioned, it will put up that paid banner. And so you click auto pay, every document you upload from that vendor will automatically have that banner. A nice one is the email alerts feature, which you can choose to be notified when a new document is retrieved from this Hubdoc account, as well as when 5 days before a bill is due. This destination section is another place where you can manage the integrations as opposed to doing an edit data bar. If you want to do it all here, it's another way. And then you press save, and all those configurations are saved. Same goes for the manual accounts. These are all of your vendors you've manually uploaded documents from. You can click on the down arrow, and all those same features exist there. Moving on to hide accounts. This is an option if you have several sub-accounts within one vendor that you don't want Hubdoc to fetch from. So let's just say for your Comcast account, you have a or let's say if your American Express account, rather, you have a personal account within your business account, you don't want Hubdoc to fetch from your personal documents, you can choose for Hubdoc to stop fetching from that sub account, and on a going forward basis, we will not pull documents in from there automatically. It is on a going forward basis, however, so if we have pulled documents from there in the past, you'll have to go and delete those. The profile tab is where you manage all of your standard profile settings. So the name of your company, your Hubdoc email, you can change that as long as it's not already taken by another one, your base currency. As we touched on before, your unique intake email address, you can change that here. So this is where you are sending a document to your Hubdoc account. The unique intake email that Hubdoc gives you is a big jumble of letters and numbers, and you can easily edit that by clicking on edit. Change it to something super simple, like we have here, Ruby, and then the email domain is at app.hubdoc.com, and then those documents you send to that email will appear automatically in your document stream. And then throughout this tab as well, there's also the option to connect to ScanSnap. That's the Fujitsu ScanSnap application. It's our fourth method of getting documents into Hubdoc. And here is where you can add different Hubdoc users to access your account. So this is where you can add, if you want to add an accountant to be able to view your account, you can add their email there and add them, and then that account you add will automatically have access to view your Hubdoc account. This section right here, current collaborators, that is where you can manage who currently has access to your account. So it's super helpful there. You can easily remove people if you want to revoke their access. Finally, you can also delete your account here if that ever comes a need to be. Just click that button there, and then that will permanently delete your account as well as all the documents in it. So just be careful there. And then finally, back to the Destinations tab. This is where we began here, so we already seen that one. One more feature at the very bottom is email forwarding. If you want to have documents sent to particular emails as they are uploaded into Hubdoc, you can choose to add an email forwarding address here, and then you can edit it on a per vendor basis back in the Manage Accounts tab. So that's all I have for now. We'll take a look at your questions, see what has come in, and then we'll answer those and wrap up. Thank you very much.
everyone, Natalie here again. So I just want to thank you all for attending our webinar, and I hope we answered some of your questions and have helped you get a little bit more familiar with the Hubdoc platform. I just want to go over, in case you want to reach us, you can find our phone number here on the website main page, so hubdoc.com in the top right hand corner. You can give our support team a call if there's any issues you're experiencing. In addition to phoning us, if you'd like, you can, in the top right hand corner of your account, click submit a ticket, and from there you will have the opportunity to submit a ticket with the problem you're experiencing, whether it be with your account or one of your clients' accounts. So we're going to give a few more minutes just to answer any last minute questions if anyone has any. But thank you again for attending our Hubdoc webinar.